Most beers can be placed into two types, lagers and ales. Lagers are made with bottom fermenting yeasts over a longer period of time and tend to be served cold, whereas ales use top fermenting yeasts at warmer temperatures and are ready much quicker. Ale is one of those old words we don't really know the origin of, while lager comes from the German Lagerhaus, meaning storehouse, as lager is stored away for much longer, as mentioned. However, these two types of beers break down even further into other kinds of beers, with their own names and qualities. So, what exactly defines these kinds of beers, and where did their names come from? My name is Patrick, and today we're looking into what different kinds of beer names mean. First off, let's look into IPAs. IPAs are a type of ale and contain a higher amount of hops than the average ale. IPA, of course, stands for Indian Pale Ale. The last two parts of this name make a bit of sense off the bat. Ale because they're an ale, and pale because they are, well, a tad more pale than other ales. Pale ale is actually a whole subcategory of ales unto themselves, with IPAs being a subcategory of that subcategory. Like seriously, like types of beers and their subcategories just go down and down and down, and this is a subcategory of a subcategory. That's pretty wild if you ask me. But anyway, why are they named after India? Well, this beer wasn't invented in India. Instead, it has that name because this beer was brewed to be exported to India by none other than the British while they had rule of the subcontinent. During the time of the British Raj, which started in the mid-19th century, transporting cargo wasn't as quick and easy as it is now. This meant that the beer being exported to India for the British to glug on would go bad before it got there. Poor British people ruling over India. What a tough time they had, I suppose. To combat this, brewers in Britain added more hops to the beer being sent over to India so it would survive the trip. This worked out, and this pale ale made for trips to India was dubbed Indian Pale Ale. At least according to legend anyway. Next up, let's look at Pilsners. A Pilsner is a type of lager which has a much crispier taste to it. Many of the most popular beers are Pilsners, you know, the kind you get in like the bright like taps at the pumps at the pub, those sort of ones with all the flashy colours that young people like to drink before they get old and start drinking ales like myself. Gosh, like, I'm such a beer snob, like, I should maybe accept more beers. Anyway, massive tangent. Pilsners are named after the town in which they were first brewed. That means the town of Plzeň, which is found in the Czech Republic. Apologies about pronunciation there. I did double check it. I think I'm saying that right. Anyone who speaks Czech, let me know how to say it correctly down below. Thanks. Anyway, while this name doesn't sound all that much like the word Pilsner, the German translation of this name, Pilsen, is a tad closer to it. This drink is named after the German translation of this city's name because when it was created, this city was under German-speaking rule. This city's name is thought to mean things like damp and moist, which is fitting for a beer name as beer is pretty moist, I suppose, with it being a liquid and everything. The original kind of Pilsner brewed in the city was called Pilsner Urquell, which is actually still available today and apparently a pretty good beer. I should try it. Maybe I have tried it. I can't remember. I've drunk a lot of beer in my time. But anyway, this kind of beer proved to be so popular that others around the world started brewing it too, taking that name of Pilsner with them. Now, before we continue, I'd like to briefly talk about Patreon and Super Thanks. Patreon is the best way to financially support Name Explain, and donating just $1 a month gets you ad-free videos, a chance to say what names get explained, an exclusive monthly newsletter, and your name at the end of these videos. All of that can be found at patreon.com/nameexplain, which will be linked down below. Conversely, if you want to just make a one-time donation, you can leave a super thanks directly in the comment section of any of my videos here on YouTube. They help out tremendously too. Thank you. Anyway, moving on, let's look into Hells. This is once again a kind of beer which is seemingly defined by its more malty taste. Now, despite the name, this beer has nothing to do with the Netherworld, ruled by the devil and all their goons. This beer derives from Germany, and in German, the word Hell means things like light, bright, and pale. This word was applied to this kind of beer because it is indeed rather bright and light in colour, especially when compared to other darker beers. And speaking of darker beers, moving on we have Stout. This is another ale which is defined by its much darker colour and stronger flavour. Perhaps the most famous kind of stout is Ireland's Guinness. Gosh, I love a pint of Guinness. I guess it comes with the name, I suppose. Anyway, stout is a strange word. Today is used more as an adjective to refer to people who have a larger build, though often a bit on the shorter side, shall we say. Originally, it meant other things too, like brave and proud. One other thing it also meant was strong. This meaning of strong is how the word got linked with beer. As this beer is pretty strong, it got linked with the term of stout, eventually becoming the name for the beer. Originally, it was referred to as a porter, named because it was drunk by working class people like porters back in the day. Porter now seems to be considered its own kind of beer, different to stouts. And finally, let's talk about Kosh, and apologies about pronunciation there. I once again did check how to say this one, but my German isn't up to scratch evidently. But anyway, Kolsch is a strange kind of beer. It's considered something of a hybrid between ale and lager. This is because while it's brewed in the same manner of an ale, it has many of the qualities of a lager, like a lighter colour and milder taste. Even if you aren't into beer, you might be familiar with this word, especially if you come from the German city of Cologne. In German, this city is called Cologne. Once again, apologies about pronunciation. I did check it, but you know, if there's anyone German watching this, feel free to go rinse me down in the comments if that helps you process my pronunciation. So anyway, the city's demonym, so people from the city of Cologne or Con in German are referred to as Kosh. Got there. A demonym, by the way, is the word we use to describe something relating to its location, like the words English for England, French for France, and so on. So if you are from the city of Cologne, you could describe yourself as being Kosh. You are a Kosh person, I guess. And of course, this style of beer is called Kosh because it originated in the city of Cologne. Kosh is literally Kosh. And that should hopefully help you understand what different beer names actually mean. Though, let me know about any other interesting beer names I might have missed out on. Also, please suggest a subject area down below which we could cover in next Monday's 5 Names Explained video. Though this video was a little bit different to my previous 5 Names Explained video. Let me know if you liked it or not, because working process always. But anyway, the video could be about literally anything, and the subject area can be as niche or broad as you like. I will then choose 3 of those subject areas and place them in a poll for my patrons to vote on. Then the winner from that poll will be the subject area covered in the next 5 Names Explained video. You can vote in that poll as well as enjoy many other great benefits by visiting patreon.com/nameexplain, which will be linked down below, and by donating just $1 a month. Thank you. Anyway, that's more than enough for myself. Don't forget to go follow me on Instagram, where I'm NameExplainYT, and don't forget to join the Facebook page, Friends of Name Explain, where you can chat with myself and many other name nerds. Okay all, take care. Recording? Yep. Hello, I'm behind the camera. I was just checking how that looked. Looked alright. Hopefully it's looking okay. Should we go for it? If this comes out awfully, I'll just film it again. The last 2 parts, it's got a lot of confusing German and Czech words in this one, so let's see how it goes. I have checked how to say them, but I can still get them wrong. This beer derives from German. This beer derives from Germany and, let's say that again. But, that was a bit too, that was a big but, wasn't it? I like big butts and I cannot lie evidently. With one other thing stout meaning was strong, is that grammarly correct? Lighter colour and milder Kosh. Got there. Did I do that one again? No, let's work with that. Kosh. That's a hard word to say. Well done, Germans. Like, you've got some good words. That's the one. Don't forget to go follow me on Facebook, where I'm NameExplainYT. And don't forget to go join... That went wrong. It's hot, Amber. It's hot. That's enough silence. Gosh, Amber, it's only like 10:30. I already need a pint myself, you know what I mean? Really get the points in. Bye.